Hello world. Alright, so things have been nothing short of weird today. Trying to get the games going. My app has crashed almost every time I've tried to launch it. So I don't know if we'll ever find any opponents or get to do anything. Or this will be another one of those lost broadcasts that I just have to delete right after I make it because, don't get any games, don't get any opponents. Maybe the app will crash, maybe the stream won't work, but whatever. It's like Dark Knight, Why do we fall? So we can rise again. So let's see what we can do today. If we can find some games, if we can get some things going, if we can get back into testing our the Steam Decks, which is kind of what I really want to get into. Looks like we found an opponent. That's great. Maybe I'm the only one having this much frickin' drama with my Xbox. I don't know what's going on. For hours, it was just crashing every time I tried to do anything. So, what am I saying? What are we running today? We're gonna run Beard's Naya ramp deck, which already played round 1. Didn't do so well. Got a run over because it is slow. And my initial grade for this, I think, was a B. If it's going to be that slow, it might have to go up. It might have to go down. Let's find out. I've already played one game with it. I played against Hakeem, and I believe I won that game. So let's keep that because it has Radiant Flames, which is sort of our whole interactive plan in the early game with this deck. Same thing with Feldar Cub is actually one of like 4 interactive cards, one of 3 interactive cards. Something ridiculous. And let's get a green source down in case we draw a Gate Creeper and we want to play that next turn even though we have all this land going. Gotta have your options. Alright, muting this and checking the video really quick. Make sure my audio is recording and not stuttering. Looks like everything's beautiful. Alright. We're gonna play against Moss type shenanigans. I just want to overload them with targets for said Moss. And let's get that guy out there. Let's do some attacking. Get our cub action on. Leap off that cliff. Brawr. Alright. So let's see. If we are playing against another Gruul ramp deck, that will be a good test. I sort of want to favor the Naya deck. We've got 3 suppression bonds. We've got all the Rolling Thunder. We gave up on Jetty Offshoot, Fiery Impulse, Twin Bolt. We have none of that early interaction, all in the hopes of having a better big game. Wow. Maybe he has a From Beyond because, just snapping off Firecraft on a Cub seems pretty... Nah, I don't know if I'd make that play. So let's see where the Moss is at. Could be in a lot of trouble if he goes Moss Green. We'll be at the mercy of the top of the deck. Does he have it? He has... Okay. That's not Acid Moss. That could be. We know Acid Moss is in the starter pack, but he wants to play Marasa Ranger, which... in my opinion, is not a very good card. Let's see. So I could just kill that Ranger now with the Radiant Flames for 3. Or I could get From Beyond out there and start ramping, which I think is the real plan. If he wants to spend like his whole turn paying 4 mana and pumping this guy up, I don't care if he gets that up to be a 9/9. We can gain more life and put out chump blockers along the way. And if it does become a 9/9, we can Ulamog it. So I'm going to spike this. It's a little risky if he has a Reclamation Sage, it's a big negative, but I'm not going to live in fear. I will not live in fear of that. So what do you got, my friend? You gonna pump your guy? Yep. There you go. So you get to hit me for 5 this turn. I'll gain 7. And you have a lizard. That's interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Eh, I still think this is probably the play next turn. That or a sower, can make life hard for his ranger. Sower's probably better. Take less damage. Get that online. Hopefully hit a few lands. Okay. More duels. More green, which, is kind of a safety valve here. More green. Definitely opening the safety valve wider. And again, he didn't have Reclamation Sage, so I'm not going to play around it. If he draws it, he draws it. Not going to be all worried. Now, I don't think we run Myria Shepherd shenaniganry. Or maybe we do. Let's take a risk and say that we do. We'll grab this Plains. One of the things about not playing my decks, I forget what's in them. I gotta open up my blog, Haunted Flower Duelist Diaries, and to see what I am even running right now. Sometimes. Makes me look a little foolish. That's okay, we all look foolish sometimes. Due to Naya ramp. What's going on over here? We've got 1 Felidar Cub, 4 Gate Creeper Vine, 3 Rolling Thunder, 1 Nissa, 2 Radiant Flames, 3 Pilgrimage, 2 Woodland Wanderer, 3 Suppression Bonds, 2 From Beyond, 4 Acid Moss, Gideon, the ally of Zendikar, and Planar Outburst, 2 of those, 1 Angelic Edict, 1 Sower, 1 Renewal, so our only renewals right here, and guess what? We have 2 Emiria Shepherds, 2 Guys Revenge, and 1 Ulamog, and a bunch of the typical land suspects. So, we do have that Emiria Shepherd. Love to find it. And there we go. Knew we had plenty of options to deal with this critter, even if it got big. And now that we have a chump blocker, the only thing I'm worried about now is something like a Chandra's Ignition. Could be a big nasty. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, Chandra's Ignition, hit for 8. So he can't do that next turn because Sower would survive it. So he has to wait 1 more turn for that kind of shenanigans. So I think we can renewal this turn. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We can probably go get Ulamog if we want to next turn. So that's the plan. That's the plan. Make him deal with the you-know-who, the big guy. And there's Pilgrimage in the deck. That gets forests. We want to save Plains for Shepherd, so we'll get all the mountains. All of them. Bring me all of the mountains. And that's what we're going to do. So let's see if that Bellows Lizard can go head-to-head with Ulamog. Obviously, I'm not being very serious. I'll get him a land, and he can go to 9/9. And I do think the end game with a creature like that is probably either Trample via Wild Size, Rogue's Passage perhaps, or probably best Chandra's Ignition. So now that Chandra's Ignition is about to show up, we want to make sure that we get rid of that. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 when I play my land. So we may as well wait. May as well be patient and get 1 more Scion token. Because I don't see any other use for 2 lands next turn. Token power. What am I going to Ulamog? I'm going to Ulamog you, and probably a land, because these dorks don't really matter. Not scared of lizard. So, if that's the plan, I'm going to attack first. But I'm just with Sower. Gonna leave these guys back. He'll probably block with the Gate Creeper. No big deal. But let's do that before we show him the big guy. And I'm talking about Ulamog. Yep. Gate Creeper. That's what I do. Alright, land for turn, get into the deck, find the monster piece. The reason to play ramp, if we didn't have anything, quite that powerful up at that 10 slot, ramp would look a lot different. It would probably still exist. It wouldn't be nearly as powerful. The ability to just exile 2 things and then mill the opponent out with indestructibility, that's a bit too much. And that's the reason to play ramp. I mean, if we were just dropping big dumb monsters, which he's a big dumb monster. He gets killed by just about anything. If Ob Nixilis and Angelic Edict can kill it with minimal negative consequences, it's not that big of a deal. Alright, there's our Colossi. What shall we do next? I think we'll probably lock Colossi down. Get Acid Moss going. Just rub the salt in it. You know how when they play the big threat and you hope that's all they have, because maybe you can compete with other things if they're out of gas? Well, guess what? I am not out of gas. Let's get in there. And we should be able to cast all of these if I don't tap my mana completely incompetently. Down goes the sarcastic ducky, huh? Well, let's review. Both Vortex, Omnath, one Guy's Revenge. Could be another Guy's Revenge. Don't see any Radiant Flames. Can't be sure he uses them, though. Alright. Bam. Leave the planes in the deck. Because we run that Angel. No, don't tap that. Thank you. White mana still available. Yep. Get our Woodland Wanderer on. Get our Suppressions Bonds on. And now we've pretty much maxed out on the absolute craziness. Cypher, hello. There is a tourney going on Steam, and the iOS tourney has not ended yet. The tournament that I did the most work on, is the Xbox One tournament. That has come to an end. And at least the organizers of that tournament, like myself and Mobius Hakim, I don't think we're going to be running another one until the new set comes out. Yeah, we'll just pull the team back and just send the Mog. Run out the deck, pass the turn, call this a game. Well, if you want to know who won, you can hop over to my blog if you like, or No Goblins Allowed. I'm not sure that all the viewers want me to spoil it, because maybe they haven't watched it. Maybe they haven't seen who won and they want to. My viewer count keeps fluctuating pretty hard, so maybe there's that Xbox Live problem is affecting Twitch the way I couldn't launch Twitch either, but I'm going to check my stream really fast. I just want to make sure that it's not stuttering or doing anything stupid. Okay, everything sounds fine. But yeah, been a weird day on Xbox Live. It's been going in and out. My game crashed like probably a dozen times, more than that, for hours before I got to work. And who knows, could crash at any moment. So live like tomorrow never comes. And we're going to do one more game, testing Steam Showdown decks. Again, we are on Beard's Naya ramp, seeing how it does. And on my blog, I rated it a B before I tested it. And so far, I may have to drop it, if anything. It's testing fine, and it works fine. Now, but it's slow. It's almost unbearably slow. There are no fiery impulses, no twin bolt, no Jotty offshoot. So basically, we gave up. If we're going to play against aggro, either we go first and have Radiant Flames, or we lose. What I see with this deck is you got rid of those kind of potentially low impact cards like Jotty Offshoot, like Fiery Impulse, and you took those out of the deck, and you added cards like Suppression Bonds and Angelic Edict and Emiria Shepherd, cards that are really good in the late game, and that might make this deck better against other ramp decks, which, you know, that's a metagame call, and it might be a good metagame call. There's, I believe, 46% of the Steam Showdown meta is going to be ramp decks, and online most of the meta is ramp decks. I would love to play against a good ramp deck. That last deck was kind of a, I don't know what that was. It probably tried to have some ramp elements, but it didn't feel like a really good ramp deck. So I'd love to play one and see how this deck does. In the meantime, I think I'll just call it good against other ramp decks, which is a good metagame call, but they already played the first round, and in the first round, this deck that I'm playing went up against a red aggro deck piloted by Legend of YouTube fame at this point. He's got a ton of subscribers. He's made a ton of videos. And, well, you can go check out his channel on YouTube if you're interested in knowing who won that and how that went. But you can guess, because I'm sitting around here talking about how slow and hopeless the deck is against fast decks. I don't know if this deck can beat a Suntail Hawk Timberland Guide, Valerian Warden, something like that type of curve. It doesn't have a lot of action on the draw, for sure. Alright, so we'll get one more in and then we'll switch up the decks. Nope. Fail. And ugh. Have you guys ever had a hand like this? It's all the check lands. It's 5 of the 6 check lands all in one hand. And he's on the play. I mean, my mana isn't bad. If I draw one forest, mountain, or plains, the lands enter the battlefield untapped. So we'll try it. We'll see what happens here. Yeah. I remember when I opened up that video, Nighthawk, and I think it was 6 minutes long. And I said, nothing to say. What Oath of the Gatewatch cards excite me the most, and which ones do I hope we get? That's a great question. I like that question. So, it's one of my favorite ways to kill time when I can't find a game. I go over here to my Oath of the Gatewatch binder of real Magic cards, and I open it up and I flip through it. So, what would really change things is kind of what I'm looking for, and, you know, there's good rares. I like rares, but rares only have a certain amount of ability to change things, because you only get, like, 2 of them. So, I mean, great uncommons are probably great commons and uncommons are where you look for what might actually change the format even a little bit. I would love negate. I think that adding negate to the format would be very interesting. It would put a bit of a crimp in the style of all these planeswalkers that are running around. We want to be able to play one green, 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 green. Okay. Looks like Thopters over there. But, so I would love negate to just slow down planeswalkers. I think that would be a really good addition. I would love a Scion Summoner, which is a 3 mana for a 2/2. When it enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 Scion onto the battlefield. That's the kind of card that's interesting to me. Another common I would like is Oblivion Strike, which is black 3, exile target creature. Alright? I really want that. I think that would you know, for one thing, black is just so bad right now, and I think this would solve a lot of the problems with black. Wow, I drew them all, guys. I drew all the check lands. I don't think that's ever happened to me before. Yahtzee. Alright. Let's start rolling up some ramp. But yeah, if red really had some if black had some removal, just 4 mana exit target thing that's common, so you could run 4 of them, I think control would have a better shot, because that would get rid of Ulamog, and that would get rid of a whole bunch of things. So that's pretty awesome. Also, I am not getting married to the idea that we're going to be receiving a card because we see it in those videos that Wizards puts out. I don't think I'm crazy. A lot of things that were in some of that promotional type stuff got cut last time around. So I'm not getting married to the idea that we're getting Thought-Knot Seer and Reality Smasher and Crush of Tentacles. I do hope we get some of them, but I'm just not going to bank on it. I mean, if you looked at those games, it looked like all the cards in them were Oath cards, and that's kind of weird in itself. So we're getting Thopter smashed. What do we need to do? That doesn't do anything. This doesn't do much. This gets Ulamog. And this might slow him down, but he's rolling right now. We need to draw... We have to draw a sweeper. There's no question about that. And then after we do, we can gate creep it back. So what's the best way to get to that? Right now, we're taking 5... I don't think Bonds is a good use of our mana. It might buy us another turn in the long term, but I don't like it too much. So I'm actually going to get my Moss on. And it's going to look really bad, but pretty much we're just trying to draw a sweeper. If we don't draw one, it's all for naught, you know? GG, thank you, come again. And that's about all there is to say. So, it's going to look like an ugly game if we don't draw one. If we do draw one, that would be nice. I want Seed Guardian. That is 4 mana for a 3/4, 2 green, 2 others with reach. I think getting some reach, it's uncommon, so you can play 3 of them. I think getting some reach into green is good, because I don't think we have enough. And if Seed Guardian dies, you put an XX green elemental creature onto the battlefield. X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard. I think that would be great in that green-black type of deck. I think it's really cool. So, I don't trust that anything's confirmed until I see it. I've been disappointed way too many times. I think we'd need some like cards like Searing Light, like 1 white mana do something type cards. We just need those. Because right now it's way too easy to think, oh, he has 1 white mana open, well that does nothing. That does nothing in the whole format. Or 1 green open, I guess it's Fog. The format's a little too obvious, and there needs to be cards that you can play mind games with, and that's my opinion on that. Where's my sweeper? I need my sweeper. Need that sweeper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, I guess we'll do this. Because 1, 2, 3. We might be able to get 1 more turn, and if we're lucky, he'll attack Nissa. So, yeah, there's plenty of Oath cards I'd love to see. I don't know that we'll get any of them. We'll see what happens. And, Nighthawk, you're such a troll. Suppression bonds the network. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Well, there are no Thopters whatsoever in the Steam Showdown, so this isn't a tournament that Beard has to worry about, but it does go on to show that the deck does pretty close to nothing. It does pretty darn close to nothing. And now he's going to Twin Bolt his mirrors if he's smart. Let's see. Oh, he's got it! Leet skills over there by Big Worm. Except he pointed one in the wrong place. Unless he's trolling me and has another Twin Bolt. If not, we can still draw a sweeper. Okay, Jace. Well, here's the thing. We can still draw a sweeper. So let's get Ulamog out of our deck. So at least we don't draw him. There's a case, like, you could say maybe I should have gotten the Sower, because maybe there's some string of cards that makes that worth it, but I doubt it. I'm not going to think too hard about it. And that's not a sweeper, and how about this? Sweeper? Sweeper? You want a sweeper? You're not a sweeper. Blah. 1, 2, is there a way I can kill all those? Don't think so. Nope. Been a big ugly game right here. So, is there a way I can kill myself? Oop. I'm about the most inept Magic player right now. So, bye-bye, Nissa. You failed, so you go. You failed the city, Nissa. And now the arrow of Ulamog has exiled you for good. I want Reflector Mage because I think that card will make people miserable. I don't think we'll get Reflector Mage because I think it would be really funny if someone Reflector Maged, say, your Green Warden of Marasa, and the opponent, who didn't bother reading Reflector Mage, spends the next turn trying to cast it and freaking out and rage quitting because they can't cast it, thinking it's a bug. And if you don't believe those people are out there, all you have to do is hang out on the Reddit forums for like a week and see. And maybe not even a week, maybe a day when this set is new and people are playing again. I hope we don't get Reckless Bushwhacker. Every time we've received a card like that, it's been, in my opinion, pretty bad. I do think we'll get the Oaths because they're cool, and they seem to like giving us something as flavorful as the Oaths. I like all the Oaths. I think they'll go great in plenty of decks. 5-color Planeswalkers needs Oath of Gideon, and that's fun. I hope we get Mina and Den Wildborn. Even it's a rare, so it kind of violates what I was talking about. But wow, our opponent is really excited. I hope it just passes the turn on them because they take too long. Anyway, I hope we get Mina and Den because that's a card that I don't think will take off in Standard but could take off in Duels. I love cards that aren't quite good enough for Paper Magic play, but in Duels they can just be amazing. What else do we have? There's just a bunch of stuff. Really, whatever I get, I'll be excited to try out. And I mean excited. I really enjoy it. And D-Man says, stop saying we won't, we will maybe. I don't know. What should I do? Should I block? I'm going to think about my block for a really long time while I keep reading cards. Warping Whale would be a lot of fun. There are a lot of good cards in Oath. It's secretly a very strong set. It's got a lot of cool things going. And there probably isn't a mix of cards that I would hate, you know? Just about all of them would be fun. I want Gift of Tusks because I loved finding weird ways to use Pongify back in the day. Gift of Tusks, blue, instant. Until end of turn, target creature loses all abilities and becomes a green elephant with base power and toughness 3/3. I would love to use that on Ulamog. There's just a lot of good times to be had. Oh. I didn't even get a chance to block. No fair. Alright, there we go. So, let's find a new deck. I might lower my grade on this deck just because of how slow it is. It's really one of the slowest decks I've ever tried to play with. And of course, Thopters, that matchup doesn't really matter. That's not going to be something in the Steam Showdown. That's what I'm doing. I'm testing decks from the Steam Showdown. So, let's get to work and make something new. If anybody has a request out there on the Twitch world, you can let me know. You've got about 30 seconds to get your request out there for a deck for me to try that I haven't already tried. And it has to be one of the deck lists from the Steam Showdown. You can't just yell Jeskai Tokens, which is also not in the Steam Showdown, or Orzhov Life Gain, which is not really in the Steam Showdown, unless you count that, whatever that black-white random name thing is. Nope, not even one. Although I bet the next deck is green because I don't think anybody runs decks without green in them these days. Let's see, Cypher wants a deck you can go undefeated with. Well, I recommend you try deck lists from any of the tournaments because those people are trying to win. They're playing to win for sure. And undefeated depends where you're trying to go undefeated. So we've done BBB. I don't want to do a red aggro. I think that's pretty common. Let's do some DarkShock. This was a really fun deck to watch. DarkShock's first match against BBB, I believe. Yeah, BBB is up. So you guys can go check that out if you want to. It's on YouTube, on BBB's channel. That's Bounce Burn Buff, I believe. And that, I've got a link to it on my blog, Haunted Flower Duels Diaries, if you're having trouble getting to it. But he's going to run one of these, an Aristocrat style deck, which I'm always a pretty big fan of. I love this style of deck. He doesn't use the Elvish Visionaries. Does he use a Nissa? I think he does. And it's very much about killer Nantuko Husk shenaniganry. And because I guess it's Nighthawk's tournament, and because he's got like a real flair for the dramatic, DarkShock is also running a Flame Shadow Conjuring. So we're gonna get another deck with a Flame Shadow in it. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. I know, voice of an angel. You don't have to tell me. I understand. I understand. It's hard for some people to hear that and just know that I was born with it. You know, I don't practice. I don't know if you can tell. 1, 2, 3, 4. Unless you call singing to my stream watchers practice. Does he run the Obnix? He doesn't run the Obnix. He runs the Flame Shadow, but not the Obnix. Interesting. And what do we do over here with red? We do Act of Treason, I bet. Yep, Act of Treason. Which I think is one of the only reasons to splash a red. But he says, I can do better than an Act of Treason. I can do a Flame Shadow. And he says, I can do Chandra's Ignition and just blow the board sky high. So there's that, which could be fun to attempt to do. Where's Eyeless Watcher? He's got Eyeless Watcher in this deck, which, you know, it's a 3-for-1 when you're trying to go off. It's awesome. Brood Butcha. If you like Brood Butcha and been waiting for its time to shine, that's not a card I normally play, but you're going to see it today. If I draw it, of course. In 7 swamps. He wants those black sources. Yes, he do. 4 forests. Smoldering Marsh. Yep. Cinderglade, you know it. Woodland Sam, yes sir. A Rogue's Passage and 2 Evolving Wilds. That's, so he's forgoing a lot of the check lands. Rootbound Crag, Dragon Skull Summit. It's interesting. And only 2 wilds? So, that mana doesn't quite look shiny. Am I missing something? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm missing 2 of something. I always miss something. Make no mistake, everybody. Nighthawk, do you have any idea what I'm missing? I've got 22 lands, so I'm guessing they're lands. 7, 4... I'm guessing they're lands, but I don't know what lands. So I'm going to choose Evolving. No, I'm not. I'm going to choose some check lands for this guy. I think he needs a little touch. There we go. And is that... So we'll roll like that. Apparently my deck list isn't complete because I copied it straight up. Alright. So... let's see if we can get out there and do some massive Husk Ignition shenaniganry and some Flame Shadow shenaniganry. Should be fun. What did I say about this on the blog? I gave it a B, and I said this is a heck of a deck. And, well, 1 hyphenated word. And that's hard to argue with. It is crazy. Alright, let's find an opponent. Nobody yet. Nobody home. I think 1 Bone Splinters has a lot of... I think that Bone Splinters has... There's a lot of merit to 1 of them. Because you don't want those hands that are like 3 Bone Splinters, 1 creature, like Nissa. Something you don't even want to sacrifice. You never want to have that hand. And it seems like those hands happen quite a bit if you're going to run 4-ofs, unless you're going to run like 30 creatures in the deck. So I can get behind the 1-of. In general, the spot removal, it's good, and there are plenty of times when you want it, but there's also plenty of times when it's not good. It's not good with Thopters. It's good with red aggro. It's good with ramp against the right creatures, but I mean it's useless against Gaia's Revenge. It's useless against Ulamog. You've got to catch like an Outling Colossus with it. Hitting a Green Warden with it isn't awesome because they still got a card out of their graveyard that's awesome. So, Bone Splinters, it's not great. It's okay. It's alrighty. It says he's playing 2 Rootbound. I'm not going back to change it. I don't care. 2 Rootbound. I get the picture, but check it out. If I draw that Dragon Skull Summit and I really need a green, then the loss is on me, not on Dark. Dude. And DJ says, what is your take on spot removal in general? If you're templating a deck, where do you usually start? Well, obviously, that varies for every single deck, so that's not a good answer. But spot removal. It has to be able to hit everything that you would hope to get rid of, at least a wide amount of things, if I'm going to run like 4 or max copies or anything like that. And it has to be pretty cheap. I can't imagine running spot removal that costs like 5 mana or more in multiples very often. I think 2 Angelic Edicts can work in like a control deck or a ramp deck, but I still feel dirty playing that card because I hate paying 5 mana for spot removal. I think it's, generally speaking, a pretty bad approach. And this hand is weird. Do better. That's not better. Yeah, wow. I guess. See what happens. Flood out in misery. There are a lot of awkward hands. As I've said when making Husk decks in the past, you've got a handful of cards that are amazing and run your engine, and then you have a handful of just nonsense junk in your deck that you never want to draw. You know what I mean? And man, when you get those hands where you just don't get the good cards, or the opponent deals with the good cards that run the engine, like Evo Leap and a Smothering Abomination, Nantuko Husk from Beyond, when those cards just don't show up and you just draw the weird stuff, it can get ugly. It can be an ugly game. So, let's see. There's some more discussion down here about spot removal. Words like Grasp of Darkness, Oblivion Strike, yeah. Let's see what they actually give us. Let's see what they actually give us. The interesting thing about Grasp of Darkness is Grasp is amazing when the 2-drops and the 3-drops are really good, because removal is kind of interesting in that it has to be on par with what it's trying to remove, right? So if you're trying to remove Grasp is a card that's best removing 2, 3, and 4 drops, because then you're trading up 2 mana instant for their good 2-drop, their good 3-drop, their good 4-drop. The problem right now is that those spots are pretty vacant, and like removal doesn't get used very much on cards in that place, because most of the cards for those casting costs are bad. Now, as I'm saying that, Grasp would be awesome right here on Lily. Grasp would be awesome on this Smothering Abomination, but Kratz isn't a typical deck, and I think we all know that. I would love to see it get more play, but it doesn't. What is our opponent getting up to? Get in there. And if he's going to play some kind of a control deck, I'm guessing some kind of Reanimator. Anyway, I love, on an empty board, just flipping Lily and going for broke. So that's what I am going to do. Just frickin' go for it. That's the plan. Because if she makes it all the way, if he's playing like a control deck, making him discard cards is awesome, but if she makes it all the way to Ultimate, there are many decks that beat that. I have beaten it when it's been done to me, and the scenario was Thopters, where I just kept making token Thopters and attacking through the air, and he didn't have a sack outlet for whatever guys he had, and I was able to beat a Lily Ultimate, but I've done it once, and I probably won't do it many times. 3 grasps kill Ulamog. OP as hell. Nighthawk, I love your sense of humor. So it's a good thing you're always sarcastic, because if you weren't, I'd just have to call you an idiot. And I don't want to do that. Get that brilliant spectrum out of there. So I'm thinking some kind of reanimator over here. Or yeah, turbo fog would make some sense. But anyway, some kind of a combo-y, control-y thingamajigger that I can't, wait to destroy with Liliana. And I would love to get the Eldrazi Modern deck into duels. I would love to get all the most powerful things ever into duels. Just put it all in here. Let's play Legacy. Let's play Vintage. Let's put it all in duels. That's like my dream. So I've got no problem with that idea. So at this point we don't have any creatures. So that could become a headache. If he plays his own creature over here, we'll have a real choice to make next turn. I'm surprised he hasn't run out a Reclamation Sage or something to pressure Lily. Let's see what happens. Oh, Rise from the Grave. Interesting. What's he gonna get? Smothering Abomination? I don't know. But yeah, it is some kind of a reanimator deck. Let's just say the options aren't good. And we're gonna Epith. Sure. What's he gonna drop? Let's see if he found a fatty. If he did, we've got to figure out... Okay, he still doesn't have one. So we've got a big choice. We could make our emblem. Ah, there's a creature. What we really want to do is get up to getting Fleshbag back. So... I could get punished for this, but I can't see how. Displacement, Wave, and Disperse are probably the most likely ways, and I just want to keep pushing this. And this could be a mistake. I don't usually get greedy like this. I usually make the emblem immediately. Yeah, I'm going to make the emblem immediately. That's the plan. What am I thinking? Just make the dang emblem. That's like 99.9% right. Once upon a time, I got Moss 3 times, and all I had on the table was Liliana Emblem and Blister Pod, and my opponent had a bunch of huge creatures, and I came all the way back and won that game, because every time I blocked with Blister Pod, it came back, and it just made more Scions, it got me the mana I needed. Eventually I cast a Fleshbag Marauder off 1 land, and he started sacking his big creatures. I started gaining control of them. Oh yeah. So, just make the emblem. Even a Blister Pod can go all the way. Alright, let's see if he gets his Reanimator Jutsu going. Oh, there's some big creatures. He found them. But we need to get to where we can cast Fleshbag. Nothing to destroy, so this doesn't matter. He's drawn a lot of cards, and that's how he stayed ahead on Liliana. Usually Liliana breaks you down really quick. She's rather merciless, but not this time. Attack. And in case of Gaia's Revenge, we don't want to lose Liliana. So I'm going to do a little trick to untap my Husk. All about anticipating, skating to where the puck is going to be. Now show me that Gaia's Revenge, make me feel good. Do-do-ba-do-ba-do. Necromantic Summons. What are we gonna get? Probably Green Warden, which is gonna be a really bad idea, and I will show you why. Here it comes! Oh, as long as he doesn't play another creature, and even if he does, I think I can get there. This is gonna get fun. Like, we are gonna have a good time with this poor person's deck. Although, it's a Sultai Reanimator of some kind. Looks to be built with some purpose, but this isn't gonna be fair. Now, I think he can exile his Green Warden, but let's see. It would be smart for him to. He might have the habit of leaving in the graveyard. Let's see what happens. And if it is exiled, let's see if I still get it back. Because a changed zones may not change the ability. Oh, he left it in the graveyard. So that's a big mistake. Bam! 2 more damage for you. And let's untap our Husk again. The hard way. I want Kalidas. I want Kalidas, Trader of Get, so that we can kind of get some exile shenanigans involved. I think that would be a lot of fun. Alright, there we go. Let's get this back. Do I want that back? Yeah, I want that back. Now, I'm really curious to see if he exiles this Green Warden, what happens. So, let's see. I think I'm going to sack it again and see what he does. He's going to do... Okay. You're good, dude. Oh, this is fun. Let's see. Oh, I get to choose a card? I'll take you, Pikachu. Do I want to exile Green Warden? No, I don't. I want Green Warden to come back, and then I'll get the card anyway. So it's my choice now. This is so dirty. Alright. Cool. I'm going to have all the cards from all the graveyards under my control, so that's not going to matter too much. Like I understand if he wants to concede, but maybe he just wants to see all these shenanigans in progress. Oh, triggers, and I will take you. Green Warden is back. Yep, get on out of here. The writing's on the wall now. This is about to get ugly. Yeah. Bam. Turn him sideways. Turn him sideways. It is a very dirty victory. It's not quite right. I will get you back now. Because why the heck not? No, not exiling. Oh yeah. So I won't get back yet, but I will when I get it back. Get it. And Blister Pod. And let's put that out there. Nobody minds if I bad manners the AI, right? Because this is just ridiculous and too much fun. Draw in the cards. Oh yes, we hit the black mana. Now we get to do this. Oh, Liliana Emblem, you are the best card in the game. When you show up. You're just too much fun. I'll just have all the creatures, I'll get all the death benefits. It won't even be fair. I'll just get that back. There goes his scab. That's not nice. I'll just get this back. Okay. Oh my gosh, we'll draw some cards. Oh my lord. It's just broken. Oh my goodness. All the bad manners. What do you got, AI? What gets you out of this? Is there a card that just exiles everything the opponent controls forever? Because that would be a good card. I think they should print that. I think duels would be better for it. Return of the Mac. Here it is. Trigger happy. That's what I am. Let's see your last card. Because God knows, he could be setting me up. Could all be a trap. Gotta play careful. Can't afford a misclick in this scenario. Yeah, that's right. You discard that Epiphany instead of casting it. Even the computer's like, just finish it already. I don't even want to know what my top 2 cards are. Bam! Seed Guardian would be a lot of fun. Seed Guardian would be a really cool card to add to that whole scenario. Eternal Pilgrim, Aliyah, or Aliyah, whatever we're calling that. That is going to be a fun card to add to that shenaniganry. And if you don't know who Ali Eternal Pilgrim is, it is a white and a black for a core cleric legend. It is a rare. It's from Oath of the Gatewatch. It has Death Touch. It is a 2/3 for 2 mana already in Orzhov colors. And for 1 mana, sacrifice another creature. You gain life equal to the sacrificed creature's toughness. But that's not all. 1 white, 1 black, and 1 colorless. Sacrifice another creature. Exile target non-land permanent. Activate its ability. Activate this ability only if you have at least 10 life more than your starting life total. That, my friends, would be exciting. And, throw in a Seed Guardian. Just make a whole bunch of dorks. Oh, goodness, I can't wait. The denser a format gets, the more kind of cards you get in it, the better strategies that are like creature-centric, like with Evo Leap, Aristocrat, Husk strategies, the better those get. They just get stronger and stronger the more cards you have to pull from. Alright, need to focus up. Got some Magic to play. Can't just Liliana to Ultimate every game. We can play this. It'll be alright. It'll be okay. Everything will be fine. I wish this was not a mountain. I wish it was any of the other basic lands. Yuck. Let's see. Swamp into Thrall into Husk. I think that's the safest way to go. So, yep, there's some skepticism. Will we get Ali? I don't believe we'll get anything just because it's in the video. They showed us all kinds of cards that we didn't get. We didn't get no Bring to Light, and that was in screenshots. That's the first one I think of, but there are more. Last time for B for Z, they showed us all kind of cards, and we never got any of them. So, yeah, I'm just gonna guess that we don't get anything cool, and then, you know what happens when I just decide that we'll never get anything cool? Whatever we get, I'll be excited about. Beats. You got the guts? Do you have the guts to block with that Starfish? Nope. That's why we attack anyway, ladies and gents. That's why we attack anyway. And get my Husk on. Yeah, you scry. You got something that deck for this Husk? I doubt it. I'm sure that your planar outburst will be useless. Yes, good. Ah! Well, that sucks. We can beat him up a bit this turn though. It'll be fun. Yeah, it'll be fun. Let's get you out here. Get you. Give me that. I want it. Mine. I want to scry. I want that card. That's cool by me. Alright. How hard should I punch his face? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12. Put him at 6? No. It's tempting. Because I don't know how much more these cards will do. But I do suspect a planar outburst. It would be nice to have Scions left over. So we'll just punch him in the face 4-6 instead of knocking him down 2-6 for fun and games. Could be a mistake. This deck does have some burnout with Chandra's Ignition, but getting a 6/6 is kind of hard, and you want to have things to sack. Actually, if I draw Chandra's Ignition next turn and he doesn't wipe the board, I just win, so that's a reason to keep your guys around. Alright, Bant, what you got for me? What you gonna do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's gonna part this particular water veil. Sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And this makes him unblockable. And he's at 12. So, still not quite dead. Gonna be close. Active Treason would not do it because he could sack the Scion in response. And there's plenty of plays on his side that could just, you know, make my plan look goofy and foolish. So what's it gonna be? It's gonna be a renewal. Alrighty. He wants to gain that life. So we need to find another Active Treason so we're ready for that Ulamog. We also just need to go board crazy. Yeah, oh yeah, I remember you. I scried you to the top. Get in there. Our opponent is at Ulamog if they have it, and playing this out there could be somewhat suicidal, but I think we gotta do it. I think if he's just got the nuts and ramped straight to Ulamog like a boss, then oh well. GG's. It happens. Sometimes you just spike your mythic super early in the game using Part the Water Veil, Nissa's Renewal, From Beyond. Hey, there's a Planar Outburst. So we know that's in the house. And is he not going to use it? That would be interesting and strange. He's got to feel like he's at least a bit close to death. A lot could go wrong. The Rogue's Passage means unblockability. There's at least 10 damage on the table. So yeah, it's time to blow stuff up. He's gots to. Give me my Scions, thank you. There's a Watcha. A Watcha on the Wizall. So do you think he's got another? I think it's unlikely. So I think the play this turn will be Nissa into Husk again. Think so. Makes sense to me. And let's pick away at him. Wish I had one more land. Wish I hadn't missed a land drop. Oh well. Did I miss one? Or am I? Maybe I'm just way off in my brain of what turn we're on because he ramped and parted the water veil so much. Alright, so we got a tough one here. Our opponent's competent player, Bant, Awaken, Control, From Beyond, pretty close to an Ulamog type party. Interesting deck, interesting matchup. We already got through a Planar Outburst. Other things that could exist are Tragic Arrogance and Planar Outburst number 2. So let's see. We're tempting fate, you know. We've run out some guys. That's not what I expected. That's interesting. The real question will be, if I get to untap with this board, do I go for it? Well, now that he's going to tap out, I do. It's a tutelage deck? I think he just lost the game, though. 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, 10. No, I got this. Oh, I got this. Don't y'all worry. Don't y'all worry. I mean, I told you that we could have some fun today. I warned you. I told you. Yeah, your fog won't stop this. Even if he had it up. That's right. Boom. Let's go nuclear up in here. Oh. Spark ignited. Thank you, Chandra. And I guess that's why that particular card is in the deck. Although, didn't need it. Could have won with the passage. Just, you know, trying to show a few style points. Let's get one more with DarkShock's deck, which has been doing well. We haven't drawn the Rot Shambler or the Flame Shadow Conjuring, and I really want to. So hopefully we'll get that in here. And after that, I think I'm going to call it a day on this particular video. My work got delayed a few hours waiting for Xbox to figure out its stuff. In case you don't know, Xbox Live, like any app I opened, YouTube, Twitch, Duels, which are kind of the only apps I opened, just crashed. Just crashed instantly upon launching. I thought my Xbox was broken. Apparently social still worked because I talked to some other guys and they were like, yep, happening to me too. So, yeah, it's been a weird day, but we're on here. We got a video going. Things haven't crashed in a while, fingers crossed. Let me get back into some cards that would probably have a pretty good effect on duels if we got them. See if I can find some. I really want to look at black cards because we need good black cards. Black is so sad right now. It's just... black should happen. Should be a good color. Unfortunately, it seems like black just doesn't get the treatment anymore. You know, that used to seem like everything black was good back in the day. Witness the end. Target opponent exiles 2 cards from his or her hand and loses 2 life. Well, that's a strict upgrade for, like, and it's 4 mana. I mean, that's an upgrade in a way. That'd be interesting. I like exile over discard with reanimation stuff around. Alright. Here we go. Let's play some magic. No green, awesome hand, and no frickin' green. I'm still tempted to keep it, because all I have to do is draw something to make awesome things happen, but I can't. Can't. Okay. Could get really exciting. Red, black, green, husk, watcher, ignition. Could be the best 6 card hand ever if we draw another red source and 1 other land. Nothing is actually confirmed. You guys have a weird idea of confirmed. We can't be sure we got anything yet. And like I said, I'm just going to assume we get all junk or nothing, and then I'll be excited with everything we do get. It'll be awesome. This is my coping mechanism to deal with things like wizards and their insanity. I'm sure you have your method. Maybe it's optimism. If so, I pity you. Alright. We've drawn 2 cards with casting costs over our mana count, and that is not good. There aren't that many in the deck. But we are at a spot where lands are good, and spells that do not cost 4 mana or more are good. So we have a lot of options. That hurts. That hurts. But what was I gonna do? Have a better draw. That's what I should have done. Yeah, where were you? See, if that had been a 7-card hand, I'd have drawn Blister Pod. Then I'd be able to play Husk afterwards. But where were you, Blister Pod, when I needed you? What is going on over here? Pia Kiran Mardu? Rightio. Tap that thing right. Thank you. Some kind of Pia Kiran Mardu, I guess. Weird. Ugh, you're gross. A man's gotta do what a man's gotta do. Give me my Scion. I'm gonna need it. Our opponent's probably some kind of control-y Mardu-y thing. Maybe even 5-color. Let's see. I bet it gets white. Ba-bang. Called it. So they can Gideon. Yep. Mardu tokens. Oh yay, Twin Bolt. I'm so glad that's in the deck to go with all this other shenaniganry. If I were playing ramp right now, this dude would be toast. This is the kind of deck that would be really good if ramp were bad. Because you can play all the early removal, and you can play these value cards. He might play Flame Shadow. It's a good deck. I played a lot with it. It's like Mardu kill everything. The problem is ramp is good. Oh wow, this hand is awkward and sad. I sound like a mixture between Fergie and Jesus. Well, I know how Fergie sounds. I saw Fergie in concert. Had me a good old time. Jesus, I don't know if there's any record of exactly what Jesus sounds like. So, yeah. Don't know how you're gonna have a love child there unless you, sir, hear the voice of Jesus. In which case, we have to figure out if you're either A, the world's savior, or B, need to be institutionalized. Alright, so I would say this is about as dead as one can get. This draw went horribly. There's a 6-card hand that got worse with every passing second. And our opponent just curb stomped us because they're really good at removing utter crap from the battlefield. And again, you know, congrats on your rank 40 in your deck. It is cool, but it will absolutely suck against ramp. But the good news is not everybody plays ramp. I haven't played like a pure ramp deck today. Maybe people are bored with it. Because I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it today, didn't see it yesterday. And 1, 2, 3, pepper, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Yep, I'll do it. So, no need to show him more cards. Too bad we were about a mana off of, you know, really running the gauntlet here, but instead our draw just was awkward and abysmal. And I guess I've got to hang it up. That is the main problem I have with this deck, the Jund Kratz, is I think the mana will get awkward. I don't think just throwing in Ignition is always going to be okay because of the double red. And I think I'll stand by like a B. I think a B is a good grade for the deck. We'll go have a look at it really quick. See what's going on. Loading. So, yes. Pretty neat deck. Worth taking for a spin. Didn't get to try out Rot Shambler. Did not get to enjoy the insanity that is Flame Shadow Conjuring. Got to do one big Ignition sequence. And got blown out by our own mana. Let's check that curve. I mean, we've got 12 threes, 8 fours. I mean, it's not like we're overly expensive, but we do have only 12 plays before turn 3, and then we get crowded. And let's see. They are pretty good impact plays, except Rot Shambler early in the game is just bleh. I don't know. I'm not sold on this guy. He and I aren't the best of friends. He dies to small removal, and he dies to big removal. It's just... he dies to all of the removals if people care enough to kill him. Most of the time I don't even bother killing Rot Shambler. I love doing things like dispersing it and making them start growing it all over again. But you never know. Might have its moments. Mana base definitely bit us. We were missing a second red source. That could have gotten off Ignition there. But that was just a tough 6-card hand with nothing really going for it. So that's the DarkShock deck. And we're going to build a new Steam Showdown deck next time I post a video, but we're going to call it for today. So thank you everybody for watching. I had a really good time, hope you did too, and we'll continue to play some Steam Showdown decks, and we'll work eventually on some of my own decks again, although those are pretty tired at this point. I think we've seen what the format has to offer, and there isn't much new under the sun, so I'd rather work on the Steam Showdown decks. Alright, good night everybody.